Apparently, he's had enough of Harry and Meghan.
Charles will not grant Harry a face-to-face this summer. Charles is feeling stung by what happened straight after Clarence House. It was the opposite of what you should do.
Do you think this means that King Charles has finally chosen William's side?
That is the microphone drop of the day.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Expresso. I'm JJ Anisiobi and I'm joined by my best friend, the star of the Mark Dolan Show, Marky Mark.
So good to see you, JJ.
You too, Squire. How you been?
I'm very, very well. So much to go at today. I don't know where to start.
Oh, well, let's start with King Charles.
Come on then.
Apparently, he's had enough of Harry and Meghan. Finally, he's finally done with them. Old Big Ears is done with his son and his daughter-in-law, whom he walked down the aisle. Don't forget that. He walked down the aisle. And when he did that, I remember thinking, that's actually lovely. Her own father can't come for whatever reason. Or maybe her father was told not to attend. And King Charles, who I always saw as this stuffy guy who, was very much into tradition.
And a bit austere.
A bit austere. He walked her down the aisle. And I thought that was such a lovely, touching moment.
It was a lovely gesture.
It was great. But now, how have we gone from that to him being the father she always wanted, perhaps, to now being, actually, I don't want Meghan or Harry anywhere near me?
Yeah, and what a sick joke, by the way, that Charles should be the father that Meghan always wanted, given that she already has a father. Mm-hmm. And his name is Thomas Markle Sr. This guy's down to his last leg. He fought for his life in a Philippines intensive care unit. His dying dream is to meet his grandkids, to shake hands with his son-in-law, because he's never met Harry, and to hug his sister again. Well, it ain't happening. And I'll tell you what's also not happening, this reunion between Charles and Harry this summer.
So Harry's coming over to start the countdown for the Invictus Games that are happening next year.
This is exactly right. Harry has an empty calendar now.
Mm-hmm.
His schedule is 100% clear.
Gosh.
Which is why he's got time to go to a polo match of a friend of his whose son was playing. And he sat there like a vagrant, like a homeless man, barefoot on the grass, watching, just eating popcorn, drinking beers, and just watching some kid that's not even his play polo. That's how empty his schedule is now. He's more available, JJ, than you and I, which is going some. Because as you know, we are the biggest media grifters. We have no values. We're not good people, are we? Let's be honest.
Terrible people.
We're terrible people. But Harry's even worse because he's just... So now he's going to fly over to the United Kingdom. What is the big occasion? Is it some significant development in one of his charities? Is it a keynote speech? Is it a massive corporate event that he's going to get $1 million for? None of the above. It is a non-event, a meaningless one-year countdown to Invictus. Now, he could easily shoot a little selfie video in his Montecito mansion saying, "Oh, hi, everyone. Really looking forward to Invictus next year. Yeah. Let's go, man." Instead, he's going to get on a gas-guzzling airplane. He's going to fly over to the United Kingdom to announce this countdown. It's spurious. It's nonsense. It's a nothing burger. But Harry's coming for two reasons. One, he's got nothing better to do. Secondly, because he actually loves the United Kingdom and he misses home. And as a keen observer of Harry's body language and demeanour, the last time I saw him happy was the last time he was here.
Really?
Because it is his country. He likes the grey weather and the clouds, and he likes the bonhomie, and he likes pubs, and he likes going for a beer, and the English way of life. Of course, he loves his sports as well.
Yeah. Particularly
Particularly things like rugby, polo, cricket, football. So he's at heart a British lad. So that's another reason. But the other reason why he's going to come is in the hope of some kind of face-to-face with his father. Now, we're approaching the one-year anniversary of the Clarence House Summit, which was one of the biggest strategic mistakes in King Charles's life. This is when he granted Harry an audience for about 40 minutes. It was technically an hour. By the time Harry'd gone through security, been frisked, been patted down.
Looking for a dictaphone, were they?
Looking for a dictaphone, and my God, what a dictaphone he is. He's the biggest dictaphone I've ever seen. Patting him down. As you say, they've got some Sony transmitter. You've got the GPS that Meghan has inserted into his body so she can follow his every move. That took a small operation, local anaesthetic, to remove that one. Where's Harry? I can't follow him. And all of the banned substances that Harry claims he's not on anymore, all of it had to come out. And that was a great moment of luck for Harry, of good fortune that Charles granted him. It was a coup, and it had been carefully brokered between the Sussex public relations machine, which is ruthless and never sleeps, and King Charles's people. And he was so lucky to get it. And what he should have done is had that meeting and kept his counsel about it, stayed quiet, been humble, been discreet. What does he do? He runs to The Guardian, which is a newspaper that seeks to abolish the monarchy.
Yeah.
And he gives them a tell-all interview about his father, about the prospects of his long-term future, which is so, so wrong. And it's my understanding angered the palace. Then he goes to Ukraine straight after at Clarence House. So it's my understanding, and there's an amazing journalist called Paula Froelich, and she is the queen of the US Royal Scoop.
Paula Froelich is a good friend of mine.
Stop it.
Paula Froelich is the woman who got me my last job, which is how I met you initially.
For goodness sake.
Yeah. Paula Froelich, wonderful. Hi, Paula. Paula watches the show.
Well, Paula is elite level journalist.
Yeah.
And she knows her onions, and she broadcasts. And one of the big platform that she works with is News Nation, who are a formidable force now in journalism. And she's worth listening to, and she's hearing that Charles will not grant Harry a face-to-face this summer. And of course, that July countdown to Invictus would have been the perfect opportunity. Mm-hmm. And it's my understanding that's why Harry has come, as I've mentioned the other reasons he misses the UK. I also think he's happier without Meghan. I hate to say that, but I honestly do.
I don't think you hate to say that at all, Mark. I think you actually love to say it.
I love the truth. And he's noticeably more relaxed when older, Meghan Spice, my husband, I call him H. Don't you know I'm not Meghan Markle anymore? I'm Meghan Johnson. So he's coming, but this is a big thing. It's a speculative trip that he's thinking. Well, I'm just going to be in the United Kingdom, and it ain't going to happen. And Paula's assessment, based upon everyone that she's talked to, is that Charles is feeling stung by what happened straight after Clarence House. It was the opposite of what you should do. Don't forget, JJ, we were reading in the Sun newspaper full details of what happened at Clarence House days after. And what do we get from the Sussex public relations machine, which is ruthless and never sleeps? An angry response. Angry because the truth got out. So there were details about how Harry was very surprised at how formal Clarence House was, the experience. I should Coco. You're not a member of the family anymore. You're not a VIP. And also about the exchange of gifts. None of this should be public. I mean, if there's one thing, JJ, we know about the royal family, they're discreet. They don't speak about private matters. What intimate knowledge did we have of the Queen over 7 decades on the throne? That she had a old radio called a Roberts radio, and she kept her breakfast cereal in Tupperware. That's it. That's all we got.
And she liked that little drink. What was that drink she liked?
Dubonnet and gin.
Yeah, that's it. She liked that before bed.
Which I think we should slam 1 or 2 of those at some point.
One.
Maybe when we get to our 100th show. Should we do a Dubonnet special?
100th with you?
Yeah.
Yes, because we are actually, the whole show is on, that was very Trump. This is episode 191.
Is that a fact?
Yeah, 191.
So what would you think? Is 250 the next big milestone for you guys?
Yeah, 250 not out. If I'm still here, if I'm not being fired by then, I'm trying my very best. But if I'm still here at 250, then yeah, let's slam some old Queen
You're
Liz's.
not going to be fired because they're not stupid. Because they don't kill the goose that lays the golden eggs. Gobble, gobble.
Do you think this means that King Charles has finally chosen William's side?
You nailed it. That's it. That is the microphone drop of the day. It's all about William. And it's the fact that Charles is finally listening to his son, as he should. And the reason why he should listen to William is because William has been very loyal since day one. And William hasn't had an easy life, by the way. He also, if anyone cares to remember, lost his mother in tragic circumstances. It wasn't just Harry that's got the post-traumatic grief. William as well. But does he make a fuss about it? No. Private grief. Private healing. So he's not had, and of course, imagine being born and from day one you know you're going to be the king. You never have the freedom that Harry will have had, which is why I find it so ironic that he complained about being spare. Spare is the gig.
Yeah.
That's the job you want.
That's the one you want.
Because you have all the status and power and protection and money.
And none of the responsibility.
None of the responsibility.
Can you imagine if William, as a teenager, had been spotted in a Nazi uniform, or if William had used a racial slur against Pakistani people, it would be like, but there's none of that controversy with William. And yet Harry is still beloved by everyone, despite... Imagine if William had said, yeah, I got frostbite on my willy, actually, on my little willy.
Well, this is exactly...
Thank you.
Big willy, little willy. You might be oversharing today, JJ. Family show.
You might have noticed I like to wear this gold watch, gold bangle, and gold wedding ring. Gold is physical. It can't be hacked, digitally manipulated, or printed into existence by governments. That's why I'm backing today's sponsor, the Pure Gold Company, which helps people buy UK minted gold coins like Britannia's and Sovereigns tax-free, and they've built a really strong reputation for their no-pressure approach and expert guidance. Now, they were even voted the UK's best gold broker. So if you want to understand more about buying physical gold and whether it's right for you, download their free guide to buying gold at the link below. By the way, mention my name, JJ, and for 6 months, you'll get secure storage for free. And also remember, the value of gold can rise as well as fall. So if you're not sure about investing, please do seek independent advice.
So yeah, so this guy has not put a foot wrong, William, his whole life. And yeah, Charles has not been equal in his treatment of the boys. There should be some accountability. William should be getting an easier ride than Harry, given Harry's disloyalty. And as you mentioned, the Nazi uniform and the behaviour with women, all of that stuff. But I think the penny is starting to drop for Charles. And clearly the other factor is that William's going to become king. And I think that Charles is starting to realise that actually my son is going to inherit the Harry problem. And so I'm going to have his back on this one. Because the problem you've got, JJ, is that the more Charles indulges Harry and feeds the monster of his ego, and of course with Harry, it's Harry and Meghan, isn't it? They're a package.
Yeah.
It's growing problems for the future, because you see, the more power, the more influence Harry has within royal circles, that develops into a competing second royal court. A royal court based in California, and that'll be William's worst nightmare. Imagine all of the messages on Instagram, the sniping, the subtle signals, the fake royal tours. They're going to ramp it up when Charles passes, just to make William's life a misery. And don't forget, there's no love lost between Meghan and Catherine. It's my understanding that Meghan detests Catherine. The reason why Meghan detests Catherine is because Meghan is very, very competitive. And she doesn't just want to compete with the opposition. She wants to destroy it. And Catherine is the opposition, because Catherine is the real princess. Catherine is so beautiful. She's discreet. Meghan hates that. It was a problem when Harry and Meghan were frontline serving royals. Meghan was horrified that Catherine was going to be queen and not her. And Angela Levin, who's another journalist that knows her onions, who knows Harry very well.
Yeah, if you say so.
Well, do you know something? She's like Harry's second mother. She knows the guy inside out. She thinks that Meghan still has dreams somehow of becoming queen, because there's a hope. Angela thinks that I know it's a probably 5% scenario, but stranger things have happened, that William and Catherine decide being king and queen is not for us.
Oh, no.
I wouldn't rule it out.
I rule that.
I'd give it 5%. That, Angela is someone that's worth listening to, because she spent 15 months in close contact with Harry. She knows how he ticks. So the bottom line is that Charles is now starting to listen to William, understands that William will become king. I could use an American expression here, that Charles has realised that
The Big Apple.
The Big Apple will be the big one, the big kahuna, the freeway, the sidewalk. William is king-elect. All right, now you know about president-elect, and that happens after November, when you've won the race. You are the new president, but you don't go in till January. So you've got a couple of months. And that is where William is now. He is king-elect. And in the United States, based upon the Constitution and also precedent, you can't do loads of things once you're no longer when there's a president-elect. The existing president can't suddenly just invade 20 countries and increase taxes, and you're more hamstrung. And I think that the king feels that way, that he's the outgoing president, if you like, and that William's the president-elect. He's got certain rights now, certain power, certain influences. So all roads lead to William and Charles now, more of a united front, pegging Harry back, clipping his wings.
William's pegging Harry? Is that what you just said?
Well, it's these aristocrats. They're disgusting people. they don't have, like you actually, don't have moral boundaries. They're existing. It's pretty well. I've seen the videos. It's not good.
Well, if you're enjoying this episode so far, please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. And if you want to watch ad-free, join the club, Club Expresso. You can get it ad-free. You can see exclusive clips that you won't see in the normal main episodes. Now, Marky Mark, Meghan Markle. Word on the street is that she's at an all-time low. I say word on the street. There's been a poll done amongst Americans, and they are not liking her anymore. The arrow on the chart is going downwards, jaggedly, but downwards.
It's a big problem because going back to our sort of political metaphor, you could say that the US public is Meghan's base. Right? That would be the core support she has.
The American audience are going to love you today. You're talking their language, Marky Mark.
I am. It's because I'm planning to become the president of the United States. It's going to involve marrying an American woman so that I get a passport. And I'm thinking maybe Gwyneth Paltrow, perhaps Kim Kardashian. But probably more inevitably Hillary Clinton, probably my choice of partner. I can do so much better than Bill. We're back to that idea that all she's really got is the American public, the American audience, because she's not liked overseas. In the United Kingdom, I think it's fair to say, would you agree she's detested? You've got a column in a national newspaper. You've got your finger on the pulse. What do the Brits think of Megs?
I would say the people who dislike Meghan Markle are very loudly despising her. The people who support her, there's a few of them. But there's, I would say the British public are not fans of Meghan.
No. I mean, the people that in the United Kingdom that like Meghan, what sorts of people are they?
You know what's funny? I get stopped in the street by Meghan Markle fans and Harry fans. And they'll walk up to me and they'll go, Meghan Markle and Harry. And they'll walk off. They are the Sussex Squad, they call themselves on social media. They are some strange people. Or the other day I was walking through Hackney and someone walked past me and said, leave Harry alone.
Is that right?
And then they just walk off. Yeah.
Well, these people have got a screw loose, haven't they?
They're nutters, mate. They are nutters.
I think the Meghan fans, they're not...
They're going to come for us now. Now I've called them out, they're going to come for us.
Well, what's happened to these people is that they don't see what's happening, which is a couple very toxic that endlessly monetize their family links.
Yeah.
Total grifters, total hypocrites, just not very nice people. But look, they're entitled to their view, of course. And we're not ever universally critical of Meghan because we have said on multiple occasions that she has extraordinary drive and that she is now one of the most famous women in the world. She bagged a prince. She's got a few million in the bank. She's living among the Hollywood elite. So it's, although our view is it's kind of in decline as a brand, she's still essentially kind of where she wants to be. But in America, if she loses America, in the UK, she's what her popularity would be 20% maybe? 20% of people like her?
Yeah, I'd say that's correct in the UK.
Like, so they're basically a crushing minority.
Yeah.
The Australian thing, the couple were annoyed. They were ignored when they went to Australia.
Yeah.
But America was the home country, and actually there was more support, particularly among left-wing progressives who seem to fall in with the Harry and Meghan project. But Meghan's lost them because you've got the woke TV presenters, late-night talk show hosts, openly mocking the couple now. Yeah. The South Park show mocking the couple. Saturday Night Live. So Meghan's going to have a big problem if she can't rely on that US base, A, for popularity and for clicks, but also if she's selling her candles and her fruit spread and her flower sprinkles. If the Americans aren't buying, no one is.
So this is one of the things you said there about her selling these candles, and we've touched on it before, that she's named the candles after her kids.
It's so strange.
And that's one of the things that I'm told King Charles doesn't like either, that it's the kids are using the royal titles to sling stuff.
It's one of the big aspects of Paula Frölish's scoop. It's about how distressed Charles has been at the monetization of their royal links and the titles. And he's right. And that's why, they've completely messed up. They've been very self-destructive. And in the absence of a face-to-face for Harry and Charles this summer, where does that leave the relationship? Charles is no spring chicken. He's battling cancer. In a sense, Harry's running out of time. This is a dark moment. And then Meghan loses her popularity in the United States. if you tried to have some optimism for the couple, where would you start? Where is the good news story for that brand?
Well, they're still incredibly rich, so that's good. That's good news. They've got 2 kids who will want for nothing.
Yeah.
That's good news. Meghan is beautiful, so she could do maybe model for Maybelline or something, makeup line, you know.
I think maybe it might be a sort of slightly lower brand than that. I'm not even sure she's target level, I'll be honest with you.
CVS maybe for our American audience. That's a pharmacy for anyone who's not from America.
She could flog aspirin for Walgreens. I think that's...
What can she do to draw... what?
Or maybe prophylactics.
What can she do to try and win back the American public, do you think?
Well, it's a really, really great question. And I think the answer is acting.
Go back to acting.
Yep. I think Hollywood. I think she needs to get a role in a movie. I think maybe a big TV series. Maybe she calls Ted and says, give me something. Ted Sarandos, who runs Netflix.
Yes.
Because Ted's not interested in anything that isn't royal, because he's seen the numbers and they are horrible.
Yeah.
The minute Harry and Meghan don't do something about the royals. So I think that's her big hope, that she should become a star. Unfinished business, because she ended her acting career with Suits. After that ended, she marries Harry, agrees to give up her acting. And I think that's about it. That's the last roll of the dice.
That is actually a very good idea. Meghan Markle returns to acting. That would be fantastic.
She's in the Last Chance Saloon. The entrepreneur stuff is not happening. The As Ever brand is dying a slow death. Netflix pulled out of the commercial arrangement. That was an amazing moment when they decided to go into partnership with her, selling jam.
Yeah.
This is unprecedented for a broadcast company to become a commercial retailer. They pumped millions in, and now they've pulled out. And the thing is, people have said, and in fact, Netflix themselves said, oh, this was only ever going to be a temporary partnership. I beg your pardon. You know the Americans. If it makes money, they're sticking with it.
Yeah.
And there is no way that Netflix would have pulled out if it was profitable. So, you know, I think the two options are the acting career for her, and, you know, who's she going to talk to? She's got producer friends. She's pretty friendly with Kevin Costner. So could they remake The Bodyguard?
Oh. Or Robin Hood.
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yeah.
That would be a big one.
You know what?
Or one of those lovely sort of dramas set in kind of old America, Yellowstone, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And she's best mate to Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
He's one of the most successful producers of all time in the US. She's got options.
She could rekindle with the Clooneys. They were very close to the Clooneys after they got married. George and Amal were at the wedding. She could call George and get something going. Harry will hate it, of course, because he's an old-fashioned British bloke and he doesn't want his missus snorking someone else on camera.
Yeah.
But, of course, does Meghan care? Not one bit.
Well, look, let's be frank here. With this poll, her net rating was +2, which sounds low, but comparatively, Trump is on -25. However, Prince Harry is on +17. So clearly, with the two of them, Harry is miles ahead in popularity than Meghan Markle is.
In America.
In America.
And I think that's fascinating, JJ. And I think it's because the Americans, and we have so many viewers in America, of course, and the Americans like things to be real and authentic. And they can smell BS a mile away.
Yeah.
As can the Australians, which is what happened when they did their fake royal tour. So I think that Harry, for his sins, is more real than Meghan. And he wears his heart on his sleeve. You can see he's not happy. And I think the Americans engage with that. On the Mark Dolan show, my own YouTube channel, there are a lot of females that are really, that watch the show, women who are fascinated by Harry. They're furious with him, but they also engage with him because they're thinking this guy is so troubled. And it kind of, the Harry story pulls you in. And I think actually with Meghan, a lot of people don't care about Meghan anymore. It's the worst possible thing when you're a public figure is indifference. Because hatred is still engagement. And love is engagement. Which Donald, who you mentioned, he has the hatred and the love.
Yeah.
Meghan, it's meh.
Indifference. Oh, nothing worse than indifference. Let's move on to the Andrew, formerly known as Prince. So there's a new report by the UK spending watchdog. It's called the National Audit Office. and they've revealed details about the housing arrangements of Prince Andrew and other members of the royal family. Turns out, Randy Andy has been receiving rental income from subletting 3 cottages on the Royal Lodge estate, which he, in turn, is leasing from the Crown Estate. And the amount that he's earned has not been disclosed. This just stinks.
It's an extraordinary scandal. The British people are so angry about it because we're the taxpayers. We're the ones bankrolling this whole mad project. Bad enough, isn't it, JJ, that Andrew is now living rent-free for the rest of his life on the Sandringham estate.
Yeah.
And we'll come to that Bruise in just a moment because we need to talk about that.
Right, a quick pause in the podcast to tell you about our sponsor, Incogni. You had those phone calls from numbers you don't recognise, or you go in your inbox and there's emails for stuff you did not sign up for. Well, that's because someone somewhere is selling your private information. That's where today's sponsor comes in, Incogni. They will contact these people who have been taking your information and they'll say, oi, stop, delete it. Go to the website, incogni.com, you type in the details, 2 minutes later, Incogni are sorting it out for you automatically. And because I love you, I've got you a discount. It ain't 10%, it ain't 20, 60% off. 60% off an annual Incogni plan. Just go to incogni.com/Daily Expresso or click the link in the episode description box below.
Notwithstanding, this guy's great alleged crimes have encompassed a sex scandal in which his mother, Queen Elizabeth, writes a cheque for a reported $15 million to silence his sex accuser, Virginia Giuffre. Now, we will be crystal clear that Andrew denies all of these allegations
Completely.
vehemently. But you've got accusations of the abuse of women, of whining and dining ladies, some pretty young, in Buckingham Palace and on the Windsor estate. Then you've got the national security issue, which is his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, who was close to the Kremlin. So was Andrew unwittingly Putin's useful idiot? Then you've got commercially sensitive material being shared with Epstein from high-level meetings with other countries. And now you've got money itself. He paid around $2 million for a 75-year lease on that place, and it is palatial. It's 30 rooms. It's a lap of luxury. Far too big and grand a house for someone like that.
Yeah.
And the idea that he's subletting cottages on that estate, filling his boots after all of that disgrace. And it's a disgrace that the royal family have been asleep at the wheel on this one. It's a disgrace that the Queen didn't ask more questions of her younger son. And it's a disgrace that King Charles also has let this happen on his watch, because it ain't going to happen on William's watch. I know we're coming to that later.
Yeah.
William will not put up with any of this because he knows it's bad headlines. But it's a scandal. I mean, it's our money, JJ.
It's our cash. It's our cash. And just to reiterate, you know, for the lawyers out there, yes, all the allegations Andrew denies. He denies any wrongdoing. Fine, etc., etc., etc. But yeah, these are allegations, and people deserve answers.
Well, they do. And what we do know, and it's not an allegation, that he was pocketing cash from royal property.
Yes.
And that whole thing. And then, of course, add to that his daughters, Beatrice and Eugenie.
It gets worse, doesn't it?
Andrew Loney is the guy that wrote the book entitled, which was The Beginning of the End for Andrew. You've had him on your show. Brilliant.
Yeah.
And you've done a couple of interviews with Andrew. haven't you?
He is fantastic.
You guys killed it together.
He's a man who knows his onions.
He knows his onions.
A friend of mine likes to use that phrase.
That is the badge of honor. If you know your onions, then I'm on board. And Andrew said he thinks that Beatrice and Eugenie are as much of a pair of grifters as mum and dad, because normally people are quite sympathetic because there's a sense, well, you don't choose your parents.
Yeah.
But his argument is that they're very money obsessed, and they of course love those titles, which they're clinging on to for dear life.
Yes.
HRH. They love going to the royal weddings. They were at Peter Phillips's wedding, of course, which is another insult for Harry, by the way. Because
Snubbed again.
the disgraced children of Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, who are a pair of outrageous grifters themselves, are now above Harry in the pecking order. They get to go, even though they are dripping in scandal. So those two haven't paid a penny for their accommodation on royal properties for several years. King Charles is paying. Why? They've got rich husbands and big houses.
Just reiterate that. Just make that point again, Mark, because I think he got lost. Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie are having their royal homes paid for by King Charles.
Correct.
Who in turn is getting money from us, the taxpayer. So essentially, we, the taxpayer, are paying for Beatrice and Eugenie, who are not, they're not active royals. They're royals, but they're not active royals, not frontline royals.
They're not working royals.
Not working royals. And yet we're paying for them to live.
It's extraordinary. What he could do is take a rent from them and then he could put it into one of his charitable foundations. And I think we would be comfortable with that.
Yeah.
He could also return it to the Treasury, although I don't really want to give this Labour government any more money because they don't know what to do with it. But yeah, that's a scandal and it's a shock and it's going to anger people. So what you've got with the Andrew story, it's a car crash in slow motion. I mean, we could have 3 decades of headlines to come, JJ. We could retire on this story of Andrew because, of course, he's in his mid-60s. He's not an old man.
Yeah.
He's in pretty good shape. We must get to the Bruise, but apart from the Bruise, he's in pretty good shape. The Royals, the Mountbatten-Windsors have great genes, don't they?
They live till a good old age.
Queen Mother, I think, managed 100.
103, was she?
Something along
Something like
those
that,
lines. The Queen, late 90s, Philip, the same. So they've got very good genes.
There are those people out there. I'm not one of them, but there are some people who believe that the royal family are reptiles and they have those reptilian genes and that's why they're able to live for so long. I am not one of those people. I think they're humans like the rest of us. But some people, some of the kooks out there think that they are reptiles. What do you think, Mark?
Well, Harry's a snake. And I think that's... But can we get to the Bruise briefly, by the way? Because I need to talk about this because I spoke to Charlotte Griffiths, who's another very good friend of mine. And what does she know? She knows her...
Onions.
She knows her onions. She knows her garlic as well. And all related genre. Leeks. She knows her leeks.
Spring onions. Sorry,
Yes.
go on.
And she's the editor-at-large at the Mail on Sunday, which is a paper that's nearly as good as the Express and the Sunday Express, but they haven't quite got there. They try every day, and I respect their efforts.
Yeah, it's hard being second best.
What I would say is keep it coming.
Yeah.
Keep it coming, because we got this. We welcome competition.
We welcome competition.
Makes everyone better. But she's also, well-connected journalist. And I had her on my Talk TV show, and she said she thinks that Andrew has deliberately shown the world that Bruise. Because she knows royal circles very well. Don't forget, she's pretty friendly with Harry back in the day.
Yeah.
And she said that he's driven knowing that he'll be photographed from that side because it's the driver's window. And that's where you're always photographed at that particular spot in Sandringham. And you've got this big bruise. So she thinks it's messaging, and it's either a cry for help, or it's attention seeking, or it's to spark conspiracy theories, or it's to embarrass his brother, or it's any of the above. But we didn't need to see that bruise. How long does a bruise last, JJ?
I'd say maybe 7 to 10 days.
Right. Would it be the hardest thing in the world for Andrew to stay home for a week to 10 days, right?
Of course not.
With butlers in the house, chefs, manservants, reading the Daily Telegraph, sipping tea.
So, excuse me, reading the Daily Express, you fool.
Well, you're absolutely right, by the way. No, because he's an idiot, old Andrew.
This is true.
The problem he's got, you see, he wouldn't understand the Express. Do you know what I mean? Because that would be like Tolstoy for him. I don't understand all those long words. So he needs more of a comic like the Telegraph. Do you know what I mean? And so he'd have to put the Express through like Google Translate and then get them to break it down into bullet points because he's nearly as thick as Harry. This guy is not smart. And so but no, I mean, it's very interesting that she said that. She's like, because we had a 3-way conversation, myself, Charlotte Griffiths, and then Sarah Louise Robertson, who's a good friend of mine. She also is a great journalist. She used to be at the Mail. The Sussexes detest her, which I think is a badge of honour and very encouraging. And she's now she's the head of Digital Spy. She's a big online news network. So, and I had both of them on. And she said that she's been told by the palace that this is some medical manifestation, it's just a symptom of something, a burst blood vessel. They won't go into details, but we should be discreet. And Charlotte's like, I ain't buying it. Because why has he gone out driving with the Bruise? Why has he taken that side? And she said he knows because after he was arrested, when he came back in his limousine, he hid in the back and dropped his head down. Of course, he was just caught. But he knows when he wants to be photographed and when he doesn't. And there was some message out there. I mean, what do you think that message could be?
I think he's trying to get conspiracy theories going so people can start thinking, oh, someone's trying to harm him. Someone's trying to attack him. That's what I think.
And sympathy. And also, I suspect perhaps he's as much of a narcissist as the rest of them and quite likes to be talked about.
Yeah, I presume
He's
so.
always like, oh, I haven't been in the papers lately. Go out with the bruise. By the way, we don't know who actually, how that bruise happened. Some think it might have been Fergie. Give him a slap.
If we could find her.
An angry alleged victim. Or, I mean, there is a serious element to this, though, which is, are there dark forces out there that wish harm on Andrew?
I'm sure there's plenty of people.
Could you rule it out?
You could not rule it out.
Including, what about people that he's done business with in the past? People he may have crossed, friends of Epstein. I mean, Epstein presided over a criminal underworld, didn't he? And Andrew moved in those circles. Well, so, Russian heavies, mafia hit.
Marky Mark. I'm going to stop you there because if you've been watching this episode and you've enjoyed it, like, share, subscribe and comment. And if you'd paid the £2.99 to join Club Expresso, me and Marky Mark are going to go on for another 10 to 12 minutes talking about this and another big royal story. But you can only watch it if you're a member. So join, $2.99 a month. Super cheap. Join Club Expresso. If you haven't joined Club Expresso, thanks for watching and goodbye. See you next time.